Something really wild just happened in what has to be an incredible moment of alignment. You've got one of the world's top AI labs, Anthropic, and the White House, and they both just dropped their big plans for how to build AI in America. And that is not a coincidence. It shows that they're both staring down the exact same massive challenge, and it's probably not what you're thinking. Let's dig into the physical reality of the AI race.
So, what do you think is the biggest thing holding AI back right now? Maybe your mind goes to the algorithms, or the amount of data we have, or maybe just finding enough brilliant engineers. Well, it turns out the single biggest bottleneck, it's not even a digital problem. That's right, it's power. And I'm not talking about geopolitical power, not yet anyway. I mean literal, physical, electrical power. We're talking about the nuts and bolts, the infrastructure you need just to flip the switch on these massive AI models. The AI race, at its core, is a physical race. So when we say building AI, I need you to think literally. We're talking about construction sites, power lines, and an amount of electricity that is honestly hard to wrap your head around. The numbers we're about to see, they're coming straight from inside the industry, and they are staggering. Okay, let's just start with one company. Anthropic. They're projecting that by, say, 2027 or 2028, they alone will need a data center that's chugging between 2 and 5 gigawatts of power. And get this, that's just for developing one single advanced model.
All right, now let's zoom out. By that same year, 2028, you take all the top AI labs in the United States, you put them all together, and we're looking at a need for 20 to 25 gigawatts. And remember, that is only for the training part.
But what happens when we all start actually using these models in our daily lives? That's what's called inference. When you add the power for inference on top of the power for training, the grand total for the entire US AI sector by 2028 skyrockets to over 50 gigawatts. So 50 gigawatts, what does that even mean in the real world? Well, put it this way. The entire US AI industry is going to need roughly double the peak electricity that New York City uses. We're talking enough juice to power all of Sweden or Argentina just for AI. This is the crisis that made one of the world's top labs go public and sound the alarm.
Yes, so Anthropic's report, this is not some boring academic paper. No, this is a 5-alarm fire drill from inside the building. It's a warning shot that there is a huge physical roadblock standing in the way of American leadership in AI.
Their argument is super direct, and it's all about physical stuff. They basically say, look, leading the world in AI isn't about writing clever code. It's about whether a country can actually build things. It's about infrastructure. And when they look over at the competition, they see a huge problem.
I mean, the gap this reveals is just wild. Last year, the US managed to add what? Several dozen gigawatts of new power capacity? China? They added over 400. That is not a small lead. It means China can power its factories, electrify its grid, and build giant AI data centers all at the same time, without even breaking a sweat.
So what do we do about it? Well, Anthropic lays out a two-part plan. First, let's get those massive AI training centers built. How? By using federal land for data centers and just building power lines faster. Second, they say we gotta think even bigger. Speed up the permits for all kinds of energy. We're talking gas, nuclear, geothermal, you name it. And at the same time, ramp up the manufacturing for all the parts and train the people to actually do the work.
And then, as if it was all scripted, on the very same day, Anthropic releases their report, boom, the White House drops its own AI action plan. It's a crystal clear signal that the government is looking at the exact same problem and they're treating it as a top national priority.
And the language they're using, it is not subtle at all. The government calls this a flat-out race to achieve global dominance. They're saying winning this thing will impact everything from our economy to our national security. The stakes really couldn't be any higher. The whole government plan boils down to 3 core ideas. 1, innovate faster. 2, build out American AI infrastructure. And 3, lead the way on the world stage. But it's that second pillar, the infrastructure part, that's so remarkable because it sounds almost exactly like what the industry itself is screaming about. Okay, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. You put the AI Labs warning right next to the government's plan,
And you don't find disagreement. Not at all. What you find is pretty much the exact same playbook for building the physical foundation of AI dominance. I mean, just look at this. The overlap is undeniable. It is a consensus. Both sides are calling for the exact same things. Cut the red tape and streamline permitting. Strengthen and grow the electric grid. And train the workforce, the electricians, the construction crews, who are actually going to build it all. But the White House plan adds another really critical piece to the puzzle. It's a major strategic move. The government is throwing its official weight behind open source and open weight AI models. And that doesn't just mean sharing the code. It means sharing the powerful, trained models themselves. And they use this phrase, geostrategic value. Now that might sound a little dry, but it is a huge deal. See, for a while, the big debate was about locking all this tech down to keep it away from rivals like China. But this plan flips that script. The new thinking is, hey, if we don't put powerful, open American models out there for the world, everyone's just going to default to using Chinese ones. This is all about making sure American values and standards are baked into the AI the world uses. And that's the whole international angle right there. The goal is super clear. Drive our allies around the globe to adopt the full American AI stack. We're talking the systems, the hardware, and the standards. It's a vision for building a lasting global alliance, with American tech at the very center.
So what does this all add up to? Well, it adds up to a remarkably clear and unified vision for how America can win the AI race. And it all starts not with brilliant code, but with pouring concrete and stringing up wires.
And the experts who follow this stuff closely, they're taking note. Georgetown professor Ryan Fedosiuk, he praised this plan, saying, this isn't just another case of DC fumbling tech policy. He says this plan is actually grounded in reality, and it truly understands the global stakes. So that's the ultimate strategy in a nutshell. It's a race on two fronts. Here at home, the mission is simple: build more and build it faster. And internationally, the mission is to export the entire American AI ecosystem to lock in a global advantage for the long haul.
All right, let's boil it all down. The key takeaways. First, the AI race isn't some abstract competition about code. It is a physical, down and dirty infrastructure race. Second, the biggest bottleneck isn't talent. It's energy and the sheer speed of construction. And third, and this is the big one, we finally have a clear, unified blueprint from both industry and government on exactly how to tackle it. And that leaves us with one final massive question. The strategy's on paper. The consensus is there. But the AI race won't be won by plans. It will be won or lost by execution. The clock is ticking. Can America actually build it all fast enough?